Anthony Joshua finally comes clean and admits that he struggles with anxiety. Imagine that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, Joshua came and did an interview again on the podcast with Sky Sports, and he contradicted himself yet again. This is precisely why me personally, I have a tough time believing what I hear from Eddie Hearn, DAZN, and Anthony Joshua, because the story is always changing. 1 minute Joshua says he's not chasing Wilder. Then the next minute he's like, meet with me, and says he wants to fight Wilder. It's just a varying story with no consistency. Smash the like button. Daily Mail, link in the description, says, what if I turned back and I just said, I can't do this? Joshua reveals. Let me close this. Hold on. Man, it's like trying to play 1,000 things right now. Okay. And he's talking about anxiety. Anthony Joshua has opened up on how he overcomes nerves and anxiety before his fights. And he admits apprehensive thoughts that have entered his head during Ringwalks in the past. Speaking to a new Sky Sports podcast called Sidelines, Joshua spoke about the relationship sport has with mental health. Quote, it's all fun and games in the gym, but when you walk down the aisle to the ring and you think, what if I turned back and I said, I just can't do this? You've just come too far to turn back, so you have to deal with the anxiety, Joshua said. He says, how do you channel that responsibility and pressure? Dedication. When you're dedicated to yourself, you can be dedicated to anything. I am a fighter. Even when I stop fighting, I'll always have that passion. I don't really put on that face for fighting and then another face for outside of the ring. Joshua beat Ruiz in most recent fight, Saudi Arabia, reclaiming his belts. It came after he fell to a shock defeat to the Mexican fighter it was in June, but it says July. Joshua is hopeful of landing a showdown with either Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Okay, no pause button. Or Fury in 2020. Wilder and Fury face each other in a rematch in Los Angeles. Wow, they have a couple issues. It's in Las Vegas, not Los Angeles, February 22nd. Speaking in the aftermath of his win, he says, we created history by becoming the 2-time champion of the world, and I feel like we can add to that legacy. So, even though this article, is littered with misspellings and stuff, and like inaccurate, there's 2 mistakes that I just found reading it, but it's quoting an actual podcast that you can check out from Sky Sports and actually listen to. So this is quotes from Joshua. So just so you don't think it's like, one of the, some National Enquirer or something type magazine that's just made something up. This is actually an interview. Now, basically, Joshua just told you, kind of like a wedding, a bride or a groom getting cold feet. He says sometimes you think, man, what if I just turn around and don't walk out? But then you have to like curb and your emotions and anxiety, which in his first fight with Andy Ruiz, this was the rumor that he had a panic attack. They showed no clips of him in his changing room. And on DAZN, like usually they have like Floyd Mayweather getting his hands wrapped. He's chewing gum and listening to music through his iPod or, whatever. Listen on his phone. And he looks calm as all ever. And Joshua, they never showed that in the first fight. And then it was the worst night of his professional career. He looked out of sorts. He looked bewildered. Just walking out, I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about what took place and transpired June 1st in the ring in Madison Square Garden. Just him walking out. It looked like they were walking to, you know, like pallbearers walking with the coffin, and everyone looked solemn and statuesque. So this is why I can't believe what Anthony Joshua is saying. That's a crazy picture. I can't believe it, because when these rumors came out about Joshua having a possible panic attack, he vehemently denied it. And now he's saying he struggles with anxiety at some of his ring walks. So why didn't you say this? Look, Anthony Joshua has denied he had a panic attack or was suffering from food poisoning in his shock loss. See, that's the brilliant thing about the net, the intranet. You know, on the internet, you can find everything. Look, this is how he was looking. And people are like, what's wrong with him? You know, he's playing with his gum shield and stuff like that. There were rumors that he got whooped in sparring by Joey DeVecco. Some people said food poisoning. Some people said his dad was mad. We seen him physically go and make a beeline towards Eddie Hearn. You know, some people said he had a concussion for the fight. This is how he was looking, and he denied it. And here's an article of the past from June of last year where he's saying, nah, I didn't have no panic attack. Look, Anthony Joshua has denied he had a panic attack or was suffering from food poisoning in his shock loss to Ruiz. He has said he will continue to work with his trainer, Rob McCracken. There was no contaminated food. I know a lot of accusations or worries about what was wrong with me, the British heavyweight said in a video released on his YouTube channel. I warmed up really well. I had no panic attack. Boom. See how I found it? That quick. It's that easy. Boom. You never know. He just said, I had no panic attack. I'm not that type of person. You know me. I have to take my loss like a man. No blaming anyone. No blaming anything. I'm the one who went there to perform, and my performance didn't go to plan. So this is also can be found on his vlog, as this mentioned. These are direct quotes from it. So, you know, I can't trust what's being said. This is more proof of this, more inconsistencies for, you know, 8 months or so. You've told the world you didn't have a panic attack. Look how many people were writing about it, talking about it. I talked about it. He's just denying it. Anthony Joshua has laughed off claims he suffered a panic attack before fighting Ruiz and insists he wasn't knocked out during sparring ahead of his shock defeat. You know, this was the talk of the town last year. Here's the actual video. Look, I'm a soldier. He reflects and denies. You know, this is what everyone was talking about. He denies having panic attacks in video. Look, everyone was talking about this, and Joshua remained quiet and said, no, nothing of the sort. You guys are tripping. I don't know where you heard that. And then now it's Anthony Joshua reveals his battle with anxiety during ring walks as he discusses mental health. You know, I mean, this is uncanny. I haven't seen a team move through boxing the way Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua have. And when Wilder had a meeting with DAZN, he said they weren't being forthcoming with the information. They weren't transparent. And now this is the type of games you see that you get from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. You know, Joshua's a good fighter. He's probably a good dude, but he's caught up in a game, and it's just a bad look because, you know, all you have is your word and your balls, and I don't break them for nobody, man. You know, and if you tell people one thing and people start rocking with that and defending that and thinking, okay, what he's saying must be true, and then you have all those people who defended you, not me, because I didn't, you know, I was like, man, this sounds weird. All the people that defended you now look kind of weird, you know, they now look kind of weird because they sat up here and defended you and said, no, it's no panic attack. You hating, new media is hating, this, that, and the third. And then now you're saying you struggle on the ring walks with jitters and nerves, which is what people accused you of from the beginning. So you wouldn't have lost. You already lost the fight at the time where these rumors and these questions of if you had a panic attack occurred. So you had already lost your belts at that time. He's since gotten them back from an ill-prepared Ruiz, you know, out of shape and stuff, but he beat him fair and square. But at the time you had already lost. So you don't have to. I can understand, like, if you have an injury, you're not going to tell people you're injured before the fight because, you know, you don't want to show any weakness or a chink in the armor. But at that point, it was already, you had already lost. So I really don't understand the need or the reason why Joshua would refuse and deny the talks that he had. It just makes it, when it makes it look like you're lying, and it makes it look like you're, you know, like a CD character when it comes to speaking the truth. Because if you have no reason to lie and there's nothing, you know, to fear or hide or whatever, then why not just be forthcoming with the information? So I really believe the Joey DeVecco rumors. I believe that Joshua struggles with anxiety, probably social issues. And even in this fight with Andy Ruiz, one thing I noticed is it looked like a repeat. When he was walking out, it looked like the exact same type of walkout. Anxiety, riddled with anxiety and nerves and jitters. It looked like the same type of walkout. But the difference is Ruiz, as you see him in this picture, he was out of shape. He didn't come prepared to do what he did in the first fight. And then Joshua also had a good game plan in his team, but it wasn't so good where we didn't know what it was. Everyone knew how Joshua was going to fight Ruiz, stay away from exchanges, use his height, box, use his attributes, you know, and he stayed to the T. So it wasn't really, it didn't take rocket science to figure it out. And unfortunately for Ruiz on his part, he didn't listen to his dad and his trainer. And, you know, he didn't even come in shape to accomplish what he set out to accomplish in the first fight. So it kind of came that much easier for Joshua. But he looked like he had a panic attack in the second fight. The difference being is Ruiz didn't give him, he wasn't throwing his hands, and he didn't give him as much to fear in the rematch, plus a good strategy. So it kind of worked his way and he loosened up a little bit and settled into the fight. But I still have questions about Joshua at the highest level. If he were to fight somebody who's not good, who's going to throw punches, who's a menace, you know, has that power like Daniel Dubois, you know, a guy who could frustrate you like Tyson Fury, a guy with wicked power like Deontay Wilder, you know, because the fight with Ruiz didn't really prove anything to me, you know. I'm not trying to take anything away from Joshua. It just didn't prove what it needed to because only one person showed up fit and ready to go. And, you know, it's not Joshua's fault that Ruiz, you know, if he wanted to eat pizza and tamales or whatever, that's his bad. But I'm just saying it didn't answer the questions that I need. Even Teddy Atlas said this after me, you know, and he used the old fable of Humpty Dumpty. He said, yeah, they put Humpty Dumpty back together again, but, you know, Ruiz was out of shape and fat and stuff. So is Humpty Dumpty really the same? Or does he still have those cracks? And ultimately, we're not going to know until he fights more formidable guys who are, you know, coming to slug it out and go out on their shield and equipped to throw punches because they're in shape. That's my thoughts, but I don't really understand why Joshua keeps doing this and keeps coming out with new interviews that contradict his previous interviews. It's like he's completely oblivious. Like he's just not even caring what information comes out. Me, for my character on my channel, I want to be remembered for something when I speak. So I don't really do that. You can check my track record. I'm pretty consistent, you know, and the reason, if any, that I would change my thoughts is because I was changed. Like I have to be changed by the world. Someone has to prove me wrong and someone has to show me the error in my ways, you know, but I'm not going to say, oh, I never have a panic attack. Oh, you know, I'm a true warrior, military mind. I got a prison mindset and do all this stuff that Josh was saying, only to find out 8 months later that it was what we thought it was. You did have some sort of mental breakdown or panic attack. Crazy. But this is the UK's champ. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.